Crusader Industries, a company that has had its humble beginnings as a component manufacturer to planet owner all the way to a critically acclaimed ship manufacturer. Crusader Industries specializes in military combat ships, cargo ships, and personal transport ships. Crusader Industries, with their most recent ship that they added to their line, decided to go an entirely different route with their new ship, the Crusader Industries Intrepid. Today, I'm going to be giving you my honest opinion of the Intrepid after 5 hours worth of gameplay. But first, you would be doing me a huge solid if you hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to stay notified for my future uploads. Also, for those awesome individuals that want to go above and beyond to help support the channel, my memberships is turned on. First off, I would like to say that I still think the Intrepid is one ugly ship. It's just not pretty to me. I don't like the way it looks very much, but my mama always told me to not judge a book by its cover, and I did exactly that. The Crusader Industries Intrepid is a charming little starter ship that has a lot to offer if you look underneath its surface. The Intrepid has really nice living accommodations, such as a beautiful kitchenette and an awesome bedroom area that offers a railgun rack with a bit of storage. It is really quite cozy inside of the Intrepid. Now let me tell you something about this little bird. This thing flies very well and hella fast. Whew, this thing is quick. It flies really good in atmosphere, flying around New Babbage, doing missions, box missions, or outpost missions, bunker missions, and more missions, and just missions. The Intrepid comes equipped with 2 separate cargo decks on each side of the ship. Each of these can hold 4 SCU of cargo on either side, so a total of 8 SCU. Or you can be daring and throw a Morai Pulse in there and pray that it doesn't blow up when you raise the lift up. Doing mercenary missions, doing outpost runs, going down and defeating my enemies real quick and swiftly with the Intrepid was no hassle whatsoever. And because I was able to access my cargo container so easily that I was able to get my boots on the ground and collect as much loot as I can quickly and swiftly. Now, one of the biggest caveats about this ship that I learned real quickly while flying it is it's insanely weak. This thing, it doesn't take many shots for it to go down. If you're a good pilot who's able to avoid getting shot, then you're the GOAT. But this thing, it gets damaged so easily that I learned that even NPCs that are boots on the ground that has their guns out shooting at you can really damage the ship real quickly and cause a lot of hurt to you. And I have a really good example about this. I was doing an outpost and I landed the ship, kept the ship on, which means the shields were turned on. And I hopped outside to go kill the enemies and they started shooting me, so I ran back inside. And within just a few minutes, the ship was damaged enough to where the whole entire front section of the ship turned red when I came back to it. And I was surprised that this was something that actually happened. And as you can see, I was not joking about the ship getting damaged from regular rounds from NPCs. And so it makes me question what's going on here. I do know that ballistic rounds do pierce through shields, but I wouldn't have expected that a few NPCs on the ground could do that much damage to the ship, where it caused a major torque imbalance when it came to flying. And yeah, maybe whenever armor gets turned on, it'll make a difference. But right now, it's kind of not good looking for the Intrepid when it comes to its defenses. And speaking of defenses, let's segue to the Intrepid's firepower. Now, this is a very easy ship to talk about when it comes to its guns because it has one gun. And it's not a strong gun at best. At first, when the Intrepid first came out, it packed a size 3 single cannon. Now, after some controversy and some backer backlash, it now packs a size 4 gun. And 2 little missiles, so this thing can barely defend itself. So I really do not know the actual gameplay role of this ship. I know CIG stated it's going to be for people for new beginnings, just to really get your foot out the door. But anyone with a brain in their head could tell you that this thing is not going to be something great for ship-to-ship combat, just because of how quickly and fast the shields go down, even if you go to the MFDs and turn them all the way up. All it takes is a few shots or just 2 missiles, small ones at best, that can take you down real easily. I mean, I suppose this ship will do really good against the beginner levels, the medium tier bounty hunter missions, but as soon as you start getting to the bigger ships like the Valkyries or the Cutlass Blacks, they really start to melt this bird real quickly. Luckily, the AI is still pretty slow and inaccurate, so you're able to get a lot of kills off if you really wanted to actually try using this ship to give it a good viable chance. But just know that with its weak hull HP and weak shields, that it goes down very easily. Even with some minor customizations to change some of the components to military grade components, but it is still just not there when it comes to its strength in combat, versus some of the other starter ships that you can pick up in the game, like the Avenger Titan. But this thing, it does excel at pretty much everything else. Again, this thing is a smooth, fast flyer. It flies incredibly fast in atmosphere and in orbit, so you won't have any worries or issues when it comes to getting to where you need to get to, and just having its access to its rear cargo holds from inside the ship also makes things a lot more streamlined. So if you're doing box missions and you need to place a box real quickly in the cargo grid, you can do it real fast and easy without too much or hassle with the way how you want to play the game. If you're on your Space Dad vibes, then this ship may be for you, just because of those reasons there. And that is pretty much it. Now, just to summarize everything and for my opinion of this ship, again, it's really hard to choose this vessel over other ones. The main reason why I'd choose this one over some of the other starter ships in the game is because it comes equipped with more updated and modern systems versus some of the other ships that may not have received likewise updates to keep it on par to some of the other starters. And also the lack of firepower. I don't care what anyone says, firepower is very important in Star Citizen, because you never know when you're at a derelict spaceship site or an outpost of some kind and a NPC Cutlass Black decides to fly in and you have to hurry up and get back to your ship. With the Intrepid, with its really low hull HP and shield health, it just goes down really quickly. It's almost impossible to get back to your ship in time when someone comes in and flies in and starts blasting you. It just goes down incredibly easy, and that's my biggest caveat for this ship. But for everything else, this thing is a delight. It's very wonderful. Again, the exterior is ugly, but the interior is really nice. I do appreciate the layout design on the interior. It's very ergonomic and it works very well in whatever type of gameplay role you want to go and choose. And I can respect that. But everything else is just no for me. So if you're going to ask me if you should pick up this ship, I'd say sleep on it. I would recommend that you pick it up in game after either 3 to 6 months after it gets put into the game, where you can get it at a new deal. I would wait then. But if you are someone who is just looking for an LTI token, this was the cheapest LTI token that you can get during IAE. Some people, I was reading in the comments, they were mad that the Argo ATLS didn't have LTI, because that was a really cheap LTI token and people were mad about that. But it is what it is. Again, I don't really recommend you should pick this bird up just because it doesn't offer too much, even as a starter ship. If I were to compare it with other starters in the same price range, what this ship is $60 before tax, maybe $70 after tax. You can go pick up a Nomad, vastly better ship in every single way. Or you can go pick up yourself in an Avenger Titan, which holds the same amount of SCU, and it packs like 4 times more of the firepower than what this thing does, and it flies just as amazingly as well in atmosphere. This ship, I would put it down in the bottom tier starters, like around the Aurora or the Mustangs, just because of what this thing offers. It is cool, flies very fast, and again, it has the modern systems and updates and stuff. It got the railgun rack, which is also really cool. I can respect that, but it's just not for everybody. It's not for me. If it's for you, then put it down in the comments and let me know. But that is my 5 hours worth of gameplay with the Intrepid, struggles and all with this thing, just because of how weak it is. Took nothing at all, so I was constantly going back to space stations to fix it, just because it would take only a few shots to get it at torque imbalance while flying. And you know what happens when you get one of those, your ship doesn't want to fly as right as it should, and it kind of just slowed down the gameplay role for me as I was doing missions here and there for outpost missions to kill targets, or to go do box missions with other enemies, or just doing very, very small cargo hauling missions. It's just not it. It really ain't. But put it down in the comments what you guys think about the Crusader Industries Intrepid. Did any of you guys pick them up just to have fun with it, or did you pick it up just as a LTI token? Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. Again, it is the big bird on the block, aka FC. Give Big Bird fried chicken out.